My name is Leon van der Torre. I come from the Netherlands and I've been in Luxembourg for 20 years as a full professor in artificial intelligence. Yeah, so my research is focusing on the foundations of artificial intelligence, which goes beyond the kind of AI which people know nowadays. So we are studying reasoning, we are studying agents, and we are studying multi-agent organizations. Now, in this area of reasoning and agency, we are particularly interested in the balance between individual and collective reasoning. So you can think about this for different countries in Europe. Each country has its own individual reasoning. Maybe it would like to be rich and make money and maybe spend not so much time on the environment or on the army. But then there's also the collective reasoning, where we have to reasoning about the whole of Europe. And the balance between this individual and collective reasoning is the center of my focus and also the name of my group. Yeah, of course, there have been many highlights in 20 years. What I like myself in particular are two foundational contributions we made in this general problem of individual and collective reasoning. One of them is the theory of argumentation. So in argumentation, it's a kind of reasoning where on the one hand, we can look at the individual agent who presents an argument, who explains maybe its behavior to other agents. And then there is the collective of a set of agents who may argue with each other and together come to a certain conclusion. And so in our framework, we compare this kind of individual argumentation with the central argumentation. A similar kind of contribution we made also to the area of normative reasoning. It's another foundation of artificial intelligence. So here, individual agents can reason with respect to norms, so what they should do, but also they can reason about what a group of agents should do. And again, the balance between what an individual agent reasons and what a group of agents reasons is what we study. Now, these two relations between individual and collective reasoning play a central role in many areas, in particular in legal informatics, where we have been working for a long time, but also in the ethics of AI. Okay, so a third highlight I like to mention is the PROCHOROP project. This was a so-called JUMP project, so proof of concept project. And here we studied the use of individual and collective reasoning for social robotics. This was quite successful, and we created a company, a spin-off company called DuxAI, who is using the Qt robots for applications with autistic children. The Qt robots, which are made in Luxembourg, are now used, so of course in the company, but we also use it in the university for research projects, for teaching and for outreach activities. For example, we had an AI and art pavilion during S22, where we had different Qts talking to each other using large language models. Yeah, so for now, for 30 years, I've been working on the foundations of AI, 20 years as a full professor here in Luxembourg. So for the remaining 10 years until my retirement, of course, I'm looking forward to apply this kind of foundations to reality, as we started to do with the Qt and the social robots. Now, one model we developed is called the Jiminy, from Jiminy Cricket. And this is an ethical governor, so we like to see this deployed in actual systems that are now being developed. More generally, we also developed some methodology for experimentation with this kind of ethical and legal reasoners. We call this logic key. It's a kind of sandboxing where we can actually test and experiment with theories. And so that's another thing we plan to do in the coming years when these systems are actually being deployed.